Ricky.
Tanner Zipchen.
How are you, pal?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Good, good. So what's self-isolation looking like for you, buddy? What's your day-to-day?
I'm normally a person that sleeps in, so
Nothing's changed?
extra sleeping, and I take my dog to the park for a little bit, walk through there with him, give him a little bit of a run, and then I come back and smack my head against the wall for a while.
Yeah.
4 to
And I
5
bet
hours.
you thought when, going back, not too long ago when you're making this movie, this is exactly what you anticipated for the climate of the film industry during this time.
Oh, yeah. No, I predicted it in the film. We talk about COVID-19 a lot,
yeah.
and nobody knows what that word is in the movie, but
you were ahead.
Yes.
You were. It's a weird time, but at the same time, though, a lot of people, I noticed, talking to my friends who are, on series and streaming services, there's a big, boost of people who can, watch these things at home. And, your movie is one of them. This is something that people can check out and watch at home, which is pretty cool. But yeah.
Yeah, because, it came out, I think, 4 weeks ago in theaters, but then within a couple of days, theaters closed down because of everything that happened. So we're lucky that we're able to get it up so quickly for Canada to watch.
Mm-hmm. What have you been watching, man? What have you been binging?
I actually haven't been watching that much. I've been reading a lot. I just feel like at the end of the day, I don't know. I can't sit and watch something after just sitting and watching a screen all day again.
Yeah. I think it's important to limit the screen time. I think people are falling into the trap of the binging, but we got to try to get out. But when it came to, I know you're writing and directing this film. With the inspiration for it, I know it's loosely based around the Rob Ford story, but more so what's really kind of happening in the backdrop, in the background. But what really inspired it for you to make this movie?
I'd seen my friends and people my age go into college and university, expecting to graduate, to get a job, get paid, and live a life that they could grow with. And around the time that people my age started graduating from college and university, there was the massive crash of 2008, led into 2009, that changed the job market forever. People weren't able to find work. They weren't able to find lifelong positions the way that generations before us had. So I wanted to write a story about the people that I knew that had been jumping from job to job, contract to contract, internship to internship, and maybe weren't totally sure what they wanted to do with their lives, but have become the butt of many jokes and think pieces in real legitimate news outlets like the New York Times or the Atlantic. I get in my inbox weekly something about why the millennials are the worst generation in the world. And I don't think that's unique to millennials. I think that's something that every generation experiences once they come of adult age, that the generation before them thinks that they are lazy and entitled. But I think with the proliferation of social media and the internet, people are seeing the shitty things that are said about them constantly.
Mm-hmm. And I know, weirdly, maybe even more relevant now with the state of things and, people being laid off, and there's even more of a push to, really, really grind, as we don't know what's on the other side of even our situation now. So this is kind of
they said that the recession that hit right at the end of the 2000s was like a once-in-a-lifetime event. And now it's 2 within a decade for us.
Yeah, you were you called it, man. We were joking before about calling it, but yeah, this is you couldn't have been more on the nose with this story. But also too, when you put it together, did you have your cast in mind when you kind of went into it? I feel like you lucked out, Nina Dobrev, Mena, Massoud. Come on, man, you got a solid team here.
Yeah, I think I was lucky that the people that I imagined in the roles, the kind of people I imagined in the roles, were receptive once they read the script and when we spoke. So I'm just lucky that they had the same vision and understanding of the climate that we're living in once they read the script.
And of course, you got Mena before like pre-Aladdin. So I mean, that's
well, it was actually. I spoke to Mena for the first time while he was on set of Aladdin.
No way! You called.
Yeah.
You got to call. What was that? Agrabah? Is that where Aladdin?
Yeah, I called direct to Agrabah. Yeah.
The charges must have been insane.
Yeah. No, it was okay.
We have a couple of questions already, so let me just jump to a few. Okay. Well, first of all, oh God, Kelsey's got a couple here. Let's go with. Well, first of all, what is Ricky drinking? What are you drinking over there? What is that?
That is an iced tea.
Okay, nothing
Classic
crazy.
Iced tea.
Nothing crazy. I mean, I feel like every day could be a Saturday when you're in self-isolation.
It is, but that only happens at 9:00.
Good. You have to have rules no matter what.
Yeah.
This is a good one too. Why was this an important story to tell? I guess you kind of touched on it, but is it really just kind of advocating for those people?
Yeah, I think it was important for me to tell because it was something that I was experiencing. It was something my brothers were experiencing and my friends, and it didn't feel like I'd seen that represented accurately in film.
Good. Here we go.
And also, I mean, when you speak to other generations about a film about their generation,
yeah,
they have them. They, you can, like The Breakfast Club or Easy Rider or Rebel Without a Cause. I mean, there are these movies that are touch point films for generations, and I remember asking friends one time, "What's our movie?" And somebody responded that maybe it's The Hunger Games, which, in like a very dark vision of the world, sure, that's what it is, but there was nothing based in a real life situation.
I mean, I feel like
it's on its way to being a real life situation.
Yeah, I'm saying it's feeling like it now. Every day we wait for Trudeau to come out and he has to give his announcement for the day. We'll know how to act.
Exactly.
It's very Hunger Games. It's choosing someone as tribute every day. But yeah, this is a great question here. Do you think Gen Z is just as doomed as millennials have been? What do you think? Because it's I feel like every generation thinks they maybe got it worse or better than the next or the last. But I don't know. Is it any different?
I think that Gen Z is a little different in that they are so activated in terms of their politics that they've come into this with a different perception of what the world should or could look like. So I think the expectations that they might have for themselves are very different from the millennials.
Mm-hmm. And we haven't really touched on it yet, but of course, Damian Lewis as Rob Ford in this. I know we have a question right off the front here, so let's just jump into that. How long? How do
you see these questions? You're just selecting them from a list?
Yeah, there's a little question button on my end, and I get to pick, and then I get to see all the good ones, and then I just kind of randomly try to knock my way through them.
Right.
The technology, man.
Good. Ignore the shitty ones.
That's what I'm trying to. I'm well, that's an okay question. We'll just dance by that one. This is a great one. So Damian Lewis, of course, physical transformation, the makeup, the prosthetics. How long did it take in the chair every day?
He was in the chair for anywhere between 4 and 6 hours.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's dedication.
So, I mean, when you're on set, you really have a 13-hour day, and we only had half of that day with Damien usually.
Wow. What was your reaction when you remember when you saw him for the first time when he stepped out?
Yeah, the first time I met Damien in person was in full costume.
Really?
Yeah, he came mid-production while we were in the middle of the shoot, and we were indie film. We didn't have months of makeup tests. We brought him to set, and he went straight into the trailer and came out in full makeup. So it was strange but exciting because there was this feeling that this is going to work. The first time I actually saw Damien as Damien, I think, was possibly after he wrapped. He was only on set, I think, for like 3 days, maybe 4.
Wow. Okay.
And we had dinner, and that was the first time that I saw him out of the Rob cosplay.
Was there ever, maybe for you, was there ever a thought of maybe not showing Rob for? Like, I feel like, do you think you could have told the story without actually physically
there was. I toyed around with that for a little bit, but there were some bits and pieces that I didn't think would translate without seeing him.
Yeah, it's kind of like Jaws. Like, you don't really see the shark, and then but you gotta get the payoff. You got to see the shark.
Yeah, that's what I compared it to. He's lurking in the background for the first half hour.
Yeah. Well, I kind of got that vibe when I checked it out. So yeah, which, by the way, if you haven't watched the movie, we're gonna give away some digital copies coming up later on this week. So yeah, you can no excuses to not sit and watch this. And I know we all know you've got time to do so right now. Anyway, let's see a couple more. Here we go. This is a great one. Did Damian Lewis go to any vocal training? Like, he put on the Canadian accent. He put it on thick. So did he have?
Yeah, Damian had a vocal coach on set, but he is just so good at accents. Normally, people know him from Homeland and Billions and Band of Brothers, and he's an Oxbridge educated Englishman, but you rarely hear him speaking with his own accent, and he just slips into any role. So he had a coach there, but I think he could have done it without.
I feel like also on a Canadian set, a Canadian production, Canadian director, I feel like you just kind of absorb it after time too.
Yeah, he was constantly recording what I was saying and just playing it back to himself.
And it's got to be cool for you, though, to be like making a movie really in your backyard. And you're really like, Toronto is very much a character in this film as well, which has got to be kind of a nice little bonus to bring it home.
Yeah, it was exciting. I'd worked in production for a while, and I think this was the first movie I've ever worked on that actually shot in Toronto.
Nice.
So growing up here, you always saw Toronto on screen, but it was never as Toronto. It was
That's true.
New York or Chicago or wherever, but it was never itself, except in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, this is why I have trust issues. I've watched so many movies that it's like New York, or like I just watched Short Circuit 2, and it was like, nope, that's Toronto. Like you can't trust
Adventures
anyone.
in Babysitting.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is very much Toronto. I know it's kind of interesting when you watch some films, because like when they do that panning shot of the city, they try to avoid the CN Tower because they don't want to capture it. But like I guess you don't got to worry about that. You can dive right in and show it for what it is.
Yeah. Though I don't think we got the CN Tower once in the movie actually in the end. Dude. I don't know if it appears. But the city
That's what the director's cut is. The director's cut is just 20 extra minutes of CN Tower beauty shots.
Panorama, or what's on top of the CN Tower at 360.
Yeah, that's where all the budget went. You just blew it on lens flare shots of the CN Tower. I get it though, man. It's important.
Yeah, we have Rob doing the
edge walk.
The edge walk.
Dude, have you done it?
No, I have zero interest in doing that.
I see it. Every time there's like a stunty thing I see on TV and someone's visiting Toronto to do the edge walk, I'm like, I don't know.
No, it's not for me.
Which, by the way, you need some time to kill. Super Dave Osborne. There's a Super Dave episode where he jumps off the CN Tower, which is great, wholesome entertainment. You should. Which is why I won't do the edge walk.
Was he Canadian?
Yeah, Super Dave. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I thought that was such an American show.
Another thing, when I moved to Toronto, I turned on TV and I just was like, I need to see all the cool Toronto stuff. And yeah, Super Dave. Canadian based, and there was a CN Tower episode where he's on the edge.
Did that air in the States or only aired here?
I don't know, but it was like, maybe people in the comments know. Anyone know the Super Dave Osborne origins of where this aired? I know Canadian for sure. It's one of those things that you don't know it's Canadian, and you're like, oh yeah, it's like the X-Men animated series. Remember from the 90s?
I feel like it has to be. I don't know. It's just so American.
It looks, second that regarding Edgewalk. Yeah, well, the X-Men animated series, something else, I'm pretty sure we both grew up on. That was also Canadian production. All those voices are Canadian.
Really?
See? Yeah. See, yeah.
Who knew?
You're learning so much.
I know. This is really, it's like a Zoom classroom session, really.
Well, before you go, I got a little quarantine rapid fire that I've been asking a lot of people. Okay, so
Okay.
let's fire through this. Okay, what have you been eating too much of?
Almonds.
Okay, what was the last thing that you watched?
Clued.
Something that you wish you had in isolation right now. What are you missing?
The ability to take my dog to a dog park.
Oh, we're dog fostering, man. I'm with you on that. If you could be isolating anywhere right now, is there somewhere else you would rather be locked up?
Somewhere warmer.
I'm
Very over the cold.
Yeah. This is a great one. What bad habits have you developed that probably won't go away when this is over?
From the quarantine?
Yeah.
Sleeping in too long. It's just I'm never gonna be able to get over that now.
I don't think there's even such thing as days of the week anymore. It's all
my
one.
schedule is entirely shifted.
So something that you wish you did before this all started. Is there anything that you wish you had done before?
Went somewhere warm.
Yeah, I feel like anyone who didn't get that like last travel out of their system, it's like yeah it's hurting. And lastly, what's the biggest positive or the biggest thing that you've noticed or experienced throughout all this? But I feel like there's a lot of great positive things going around through all this.
I think I've spoken to my family more often during this quarantine than I do usually.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I think families are keeping in touch more frequently.
It's true. I think people are rekindling, old relationships and connecting with people that they maybe should have connected to, a while ago. So I feel like it's time to slow down too. I know, you know what it's like. This industry is busy, and I guess it's like you can finally take a break and not worry about missing out on anything,
Yeah, it's nice. And I get to read and not feel badly about reading. See?
There you go. Well, anyone who's watching, thank you so much for tuning in. You can check out Ricky Tollman's film, Run This Town. It is out now. And like I said, coming up, we'll have the chance to win a few copies of the movie. But anything else you want to say, buddy, before we wrap this up?
No, this has been a highlight of my quarantine.
Oh, dude, this is your first Instagram Live. How
nice
was
to
it?
speak to people. I don't know if I'd rush to do it again.
I know.
But, not as bad as I expected.
Yeah, I mean, I could have made it worse. We could do this again. It could be horrible the next time.
Yeah, I feel like you have much better lighting than I do.
I put up a light because my condo is so dark. It looks like I'm in a cave. Like people think I'm held hostage if they tune in. So I had to put up a light. People are you okay? I'm like, no, it's just bad.
Give us a signal if you're being held hostage.
Yeah, blink twice. Yeah. All right, buddy. Well, take care. Don't touch your face. Wash your hands. Oh, you just did it. Oh no. Oh.
It's all right.
Rule number 1.
We're all going to get it at some point.
There you go. Let's end on that note.
Yeah.
All right, pal. Well, take care and congrats again on the film, buddy.
See you later. Thank you.
All right, buddy. See you later.
Bye.